Alright, here we are against Platt. This is the Doomsday Fetchland Tendrils deck, DDFT, if you're not familiar. Um, we are going to be on the play, and God, this hand is terrible against him. Uh, Not much else that we can do, though. I mean, it's a good hand. We could try mulliganing, but it could only get worse. I guess it could get better, but we'll see. So, what are we looking to do here? We'd love to screw up his Doomsday pile. That is one thing we definitely want. We want Thalias, we want discard. Um, when the new spell Abrupt Decay comes out, we'll definitely want that against him. Being able to do things like he'll put down a top and be expecting to have that thing last, and then cast Doomsday. You go after the top, and then suddenly he's got a choice. He can either go with it and hope and figure out a new Doomsday pile, or he can lose the game, or he can lose the top. Um, all that being said, he may. We do have a little bit more time than normal. Most of these decks aren't as heavily. There we go. Um, they're not as much removal and things like, or yeah, they're not as fast. There we go. I can speak. I promise. This is not the other day. So we're dropping Bob down there just so that we can try and get to some of that discard. If we can find it, we can use it. We can definitely use it. Uh, on top of that, Bob is bigger than Goyf right now, so just something to think about. That's a sorts. So this time we're gonna go with this one. Ooze is still bigger than Goyf. Goyf's just a little guy. The good news is we do have this in hand, and if to be honest with you, I've never seen a Doomsday deck actually go and like drop tokens into play, but if they ever do, we got an answer. Alright, so there's the top. We want to get that out of the way as soon as possible. That's my phone. One of my friends got her wallet taken or lost. She doesn't know where it is. All I could see from that text message before I kind of silenced it was makeup, so I'm assuming she was probably putting on her makeup, somebody stole her wallet, or her wallet disappeared on her, and now you have her story. I'm gonna get Savannah. And the reason I'm actually fetching out lands is because I don't want them in there. I'd love something useful. Like, I'd love to draw like double wrong 1 mana spell. Double now I can't think of the name of it. So Thoughtseize, there we go. I'd love to draw double Thoughtseize. I don't think it's gonna happen very soon, but yeah. This is probably where we're going to bite the dust. Okay, so Goyf's a 2/3. And Goyf will be a 3/4 on our turn. We're most likely going to deal some damage in there. So if he does become a 3/4, then that makes that go. Another thought is to not do it. It'll let our opponent think that they've got one more turn. We can just play the land, end of turn, fetch out Dryad Arbor, and on my turn, try and pulse this. That'll put sorcery in and put another power via the Arbor, although it looks like he's about to go off. I'm going to go an F6. We'll see what happens. Yep, so we're going off Ritual, that's 5. The awesome thing about Moto is it does all the math for you, so you don't have to worry about keeping up with any of that. Whereas most people actually take the time to realize, hey, look, Dark Ritual produces 3. Well, 2 produce 6. Yeah, but you lose 1. Essentially, Dark Rituals net 2 mana. With Athalia out, it's net 1. Cabal Rituals only net mana when they're thresholden. Plural form of threshold. When they have threshold. That'd be an interesting thing. I'm hoping that he actually just screwed that up, because he's taking his sweet time. Yep, kept going. Unthreshed Cabal rituals are only net 1, so not as much value. If we do get back to our turn, we will be most likely eating some of these. We'll find out. He may actually, excuse me, with the pedal, he may do something weird like Past in Flames, in which case we're going to wish that we had this extra mana up. That one that we sacked, or that one that we used to sack it. But I just kind of wanted to get down there. I wanted to see, first off, if we could draw, and then to be able to apply a fast enough clock. So yeah, this is where we'd go to Abrupt Decay this. It's part of his plan. Another thing that you can do is when he goes to draw his card, you can take one of the cards out of his graveyard, like you can extract that. That's the current way of doing it, so that you screw up his graveyard order is what you do. But in this case, trying to think of what I think he's going to get, I'm going to say something that's got a lot of mana, some way to produce a lot of mana. Probably a Meditate. You can draw a card, Meditate, LED, 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 play top, and then swap top for top over and over and over again, and Tendrils. That's where I think he's going. It makes him put the Tendrils as the last card. It'll definitely give him the Storm count. If you're wondering what his deck is, here is his deck. So there's one Chain of Vapor that's important to note. Let's see, did not go for the top loops. Does have at least one LED. So we've got lethal next turn. But he's lethaling us now, so. Let's see what you did. I wonder if he stuck a pedal up there. There's the LED, LED. There are 3 tops there. Infernal Tutor. Pop the LEDs. That's interesting. There's Tendrils in there. I know there is. Usually people are able to better take care of what they're doing. So like these probes would have been in there, because sometimes, I mean, you can screw this up, and the simpler you can make the pile, the easier and the more difficult it is to screw it up. I know. Interesting concepts are interesting. So there's the Tendrils. Yeah, there's well more than 10 copies, so I'm just going to concede in the efforts of saving time. This deck is terrible matchup for me. He's probably got something like Massacre or something along those lines. Well, let's go ahead and change both these to the correct way to look at it. And I say the correct way, the way I like to look at it. Don't want that. He'll probably be bringing in Bobs, which is something to be aware of. That being said, still don't want this. And those can go away. Typically, if you're actually using these, it's, well, I guess for all goods and purposes, we'll take out that. If you're able to use these, you're probably doing very well as you are. Whereas this, like every time it connects, that's 2 more Storm that he's got to produce. So, yeah. Alright. This is what we got. There's an argument to be made, but, I mean, we saw 2 Swamps and 1 Sea out of him. So, we'll go with that. And we have to be careful with diamonds. He could easily just chain them. Would you like to play first? Yes. And I would love to go first turn Thalia. And show me the money. You see how I'm trolled like this? Every single time it trolls me like that. Into this hand, which this hand arguably does something, although reality, not much. I'm going to keep it. We can drop the top. We can drop the bob. Probably be the bob just to start card drawing and yeah. Would 5 be better? No. So we're in trouble. We've got a mediocre hand. Luckily, there's 8 different things in there that'll help slow him down. Those 8 things being targeted, discard, and that'll work. Targeted, discard, and Thalia. There we go. I know my card names. The card we're expecting out of him. You don't run days, so... And if you do, I'm going to be thoroughly surprised. And this should not be a brainstorm either. Okay, now it can be a brainstorm. Alright, there's the C. Wastelanding that. Oh god, we're going off already? That's too soon. Oh, Massacre. Okay. Surgical Extraction. Still has the same point. Let's go ahead and... We're going to get the white source. I'm going to go ahead and play the top and look. And depending on what I see, I may actually take the Dark Rituals here. It'll make it a lot more difficult for him to be able to go off reliably. Your opponent controls the planes. Yeah, not free. This and Submerge both have your opponent has to have a specific land type. And unfortunately, I'm getting ready to give that to him. Yeah, we'll get the Scrubland just because if we do see like Liliana or something like that and a land. So I'm going to wait until his draw step, not mine. And alright, so now that he's got all that, and I understand he could just brainstorm and deal with it, but at least this way it's a little bit more difficult for him to actually deal with it. There was also an argument for putting the Thalia second and then just popping the top to play it, but I'd rather not. Ooh, look at that. Daddy like. Alright, so Echoing Truth, LED, and Ill-Gotten Gains. So versus our terriblish hand. No Emrakul plan, single copies, Burning Wish and Tendrils, Doomsday, 2 chains. So he's got 3 ways to deal with Thalia. 4 Slaughter Pact. That's important to realize that that's even in there. And yeah. Luckily we hit a ton of cards in his hand and he doesn't really have anything for this turn. So we are all set. Here's the Thalia. Don't need to stop him there. The question becoming now, do I want to make a stop during my turn? Yeah, you can see what I have. So he's still got the same cards in hand. There's an argument for dropping the LED here, but he's opting not to. Okay. Still missing lands, and I think I will just draw the surgical extraction. And this time, let's go get the batter skull. The reason we're getting the batter skull is just because it applies more damage. It's more difficult for him to deal with. Right now he's only got the Echoing Truth, and we can screw that over. So this time we do want to look. Land. I will take that land. End of turn, we'll drop in the card name. Batterskull. There we go. And start hitting him for 7. So he's on a 2-turn clock. He does have the cards in hand, so that was the card that this trumps. Ill-Gotten Gains, LED. He had Tundra, but Echoing Truth. So there's the Tundra. We know 3 of the cards in his hand. And we're going to draw another Thalia. Which I don't necessarily want to do, so let's go ahead and look. I will, however, take a Wasteland. This forces him to react now. I don't know how else to put that. And we want this one. That means Slaughter Pact is dead for right now. Still just going to hold on here. He can't Truth, he can't Pact. Yeah, okay. Game 3. Let's see. Knights are still okay. I mean, we have 18 creatures. He's got Massacres, though. Something to think about. Not so much wanting this, but at the same time still wanting that. I think at this point Choke would be better than Jit. Trying to see if there's anything else. Like, this would be nice if it just gained life. But unfortunately there's a restriction. Like, there's an argument for the 2 tops versus the chokes, but I don't like that argument. I think we just take the singleton choke over the Jit. I know it's not a multiple ton of fun thing, but it is where we're gonna go. And there it is. And we are gonna keep it. Well, he knows it's there now. He may have Cabal Therapy, in which case he'll probably name Diamond or Extraction, just because they're the 2 things. Like, we can actually use the Diamond and the Extraction, whereas these will take some time. Hopefully his hand will not allow him to set up for what we think he wants. I don't need to stop there anymore. And that card will be very good. Next turn, because I don't want to have to deal with him doing something to pop that back up. Next turn, I will drop Liliana into play. We'll both discard a card, and I will most likely extract the crap out of him. But for right now, I'm going to put you guys on hold until I got back. Alright, so what is he doing? He's just passing the turn. Interesting. Alright, don't want to go through last game, so here's this one and this one. Let's go ahead and get this process going. And of these, lotus petal. Okay. So, what on earth are you doing over there? I don't think the petal's what we're going after. I'm going to play my knight next turn. I may be wastelanding him. We'll find out. There's an argument that I should have gotten rid of this, and I actually do like that argument. It allows me to have colors and everything else as need be. I think that he got rid of this as like almost a baiting type thing. So Dark Ritual. I don't know. Thinking. Okay, so he's got 4 cards in hand. He's got a Tendrils me. Storm count is 2. He's got a Tendrils me for 8 more spells. And he's already played a land? I think we have to go for the petals. Oh god. Just FYI, this is going to be bad. So let's see. If he gets a pile that is ill-gotten gains, LED, 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 he can loop that once, gaining a ton of mana. His next card can be top. Yeah, we are pretty much dead. I forgot the one. No, I didn't. If his graveyard didn't disappear, this would have gone much better. Should have gotten the probe. So all in all, let's see if he can figure it out. I'm going to go ahead and F6. He's got 4 more Storm in his hand. He only has to get up to 9 now. And it's at 3. LED was the only other spell that he could have had outside of Petals that would have allowed it. So there's everything for you guys. Make it a little bit bigger. Like, we could take the time to figure out what he did and whatnot, but I think there's an argument for not doing that. One, two, three. Oh yeah, that goes there. I forgot that this went into the yard afterwards. I always, for some strange reason, put it that it, whatchamacallit, it RFG'd itself. So yeah, that was a mistake on my part. Should have held that when he plays the first one, you pop the pile. Okay, I'm willing to bet that that's top in there and top loop until you get down to 4 mana. Yeah. I will let you guys see this. Basically, you exchange top with the card on top. You draw that one. Now you've drawn the other top. So you play top back into the field. Pop top to go back to the top of your library. The other one goes back into your hand. Yeah, as you can see, it's just a circle. Play, deck, hand. Alright, so we screwed this one up. I wonder what he would have gotten with the pile. So, yeah, that'll do. Not going to make him target all of those. Oh, it already did. Alright, so, questions, comments, concerns, let me know. We screwed this one over, and I guess we're going to have to make up for this. Alright, talk to you all later. Bye-bye.